This is gonna be a really weird video. I'm on high alert all the time. I didn't know that it was anxiety at the time. Well, hello, we meet again, and with another tough topic for the day. Okay, so I didn't take notes on this, but I found my journal. Thought I couldn't find it, but I have it here. This is my health journal. Today I was gonna talk about, I call it my symptoms. So I don't know if what I have been feeling, going through, experiencing is anxiety. Now, I know there's a lot of ways to classify anxiety. This is not like a depression anxiety. This is different from social anxiety, which I've also struggled with. This is gonna be a really weird video because I'm just explaining myself and I really have no idea. Let me just take this out of my mouth so I'm not smacking the whole time. When I was pregnant with Zoe, I became a crazy person. And that's what made me think it was a girl, because I'm like, there's too many girl hormones, it's gotta be a girl. Probably when she was about a year old, I had my first like anxiety attack and went up to the hospital, thought that my heart was stopping. I was a crazy person. I didn't know that it was anxiety at the time. And I think that I put my mind through so much like fight or flight, you know how you have that response. I put my body through fight for so long that it's possibly now giving me physical symptoms of it. So like I'm a feeler, like I'm a sympathy crier, like I feel people's emotions, and well, that's great. I need to like channel it the right way and not just like let my brain freak out. I've had such bad symptoms that it definitely gets in the way of my days, where I can't even function, I can't even parent, and it's scary. Some days are worse than others. I just hate it, like I really hate it. The biggest thing that I've dealt with is dizziness. I have been dizzy since December 2017. That's a long time to be dizzy, and I've been to the regular doctor, I've been to Care Now, I've been to the bus doctor, there's like a bus doctor. I've gotten blood work done twice, like extensive panel blood work. I've gotten hormone testing. My brain is constantly running. I mean, good thing, right? My brain is constantly saying what could go wrong. For instance, we go to the park. A park is not a good place for me. I can automatically see that somebody is going to trip over the wooden curb thing, like the wooden structure around. I'm like, they're gonna bust their face on it, bust their head. They're gonna fall off of equipment. They're gonna, like, just all these things are so like dramatic in my mind, and it's in my subconscious. I'm not actively thinking these things. They're just already there. I'm on high alert all the time. And so I've had to realize that about myself and be like, okay, Jared takes the kids to the park, not me. I've been off of Facebook, and I've realized that that's helped me a lot too, because yeah, there was a lot of great things happening in people's lives, but there was a lot of sad things happening too, like just really sad things that people would post, and to take on everybody's emotions like that. Every time that I have an anxiety attack, it's from, the only thing I can connect it to is like the very day before somebody will have told me a story that happened to somebody else. I think it was either June or July of 2017. This swallowing problem, like it felt like there was a lump in my throat. It had been that way for a while, and we were like, let's go to the emergency room and have them check it out. And on the way there, I started Googling, you know, because that's just what we do now. So I Googled it, and it said it's an anxiety symptom. And I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I have anxiety. I knew about the other anxiety, but this was like a something I just couldn't control at all. The end of the year in 2017, I became dizzy. I was so dizzy. It was at Christmas time, and we went to go look at like this house that had the lights that were synced up to the music, and I couldn't even look at it because it made me so dizzy. I had gone to the doctor. They checked my coordination, they checked my ears, like everything seemed to be fine. They said I could get an MRI done if I wanted, but the way our insurance is, like we'd have to pay full price for that. And I'm like, oh. I was offered anti-anxiety medication, but I'm not into medication like that. I know that a lot of people aren't into medication. So spring of 2018 is when I started doing the 80-day obsession. Now when I was doing my workouts, I wasn't dizzy. It was like a weird, I couldn't explain it. Every time I went to the doctor, they were like, is it like vertigo? Is it like, you know, your eyes? I don't know. It's in my brain. I'm dizzy in my brain. So a couple of months after finishing the 80-day obsession, I noticed that I would get like these weird heart things. It would be like an extra squeeze at the end of the heartbeat. I don't really know. It wasn't like an extra beat. It was like a squeeze. And then it would be, I don't know. It's mentally exhausting and draining trying to think about how it actually felt. Sometimes it would be like a squeeze. Sometimes it would be like where I like have to catch my breath. And then I'm very aware of my breathing and I'm aware of my heart beating. Couldn't function without telling myself to breathe and being in control of my breathing. And like your body does that involuntarily. Relax. Just relax. Trust me, I want to just relax. It's hard to talk about when it happens, and so when it's going on, I just get frustrated and I get short with my kids and short with Jared. I'm not a fun person to be around. So for the heart thing, I ended up going to the bus, the like medical bus, and they did an EKG. The EKG was fine, but I think it was going to be fine unless I like felt something going on at that time. I went to a heart doctor. They were gonna do a Holter monitor on me. I had either a 3-day option or a 1-month option, and so I was gonna go with the 1-month option, and then I ended up waiting. I mean, money is a big factor. It was like $500 to get this done. This year, my dizziness came back with like, not that it really went away, but it wasn't as bad, but it came back with like extreme fatigue. I don't nap. Rarely feel tired. I like require like 5 hours of sleep a night, and I felt not normal. I'm like, I'm not normal, something's wrong, I'm not normal, I don't feel normal. This, along with the infertility stuff, along with the church stuff, like my body has been through a lot, my brain has been through a lot, and we've been crushed all over, and that's really helped me to look to God and be like, okay, what next? So for school right now, we're actually taking a break. We normally year-round school, and we're just taking a normal break because like we need that time. I need time to like journal, to do things that I really like. Just taking this time to really focus on what God wants of us next. When you have a broken bone, you can clearly see her bone is broken. But like when somebody has anxiety, you just think someone's crazy, and I honestly believed I was crazy. I'm like, I'm dying, I'm crazy, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like I got too far into that where it was hard to snap out of it, and so I'm like, I've got to be on top of things as far as like, God has to be number one. Before I do anything else in the day, I have to pull up my Bible. I like the Bible app, so I pull up my Bible app, it has the verse for me, and just like just like focus on him first thing in the morning. I don't know if I'll go through another wave of like just like the really bad stuff that I was going through, but I have my Bible verses highlighted and ready for my next like attack. So James chapter 1 verses 2 through 3. My brothers and sisters, you will face all kinds of trouble. When you do, think of it as pure joy. Your faith will be put to the test. You know that when that happens, it will produce the strength to continue. So it's not if you go through troubles, it's when you go through troubles. Journaling is helpful. Writing down what you're thankful for and actually saying out loud what you're thankful for throughout the day is very helpful. And not just like generic, like, oh yeah, my kids, my husband, like specific things about those things. Like my husband is so patient with me, and he's made for me. God made him specifically for me. And just like really being thankful for those things. Our house, like I love our tiny house. Lamentations 3:32. He might bring suffering, but he will also show loving concern. How great his faithful love is. So those have been really helpful. It's also been helpful that when Peter was walking on the water and he took his eyes off of Jesus and he started to sink, and I feel like every time something would go on with me, I would do that. I would take my attention away from God, away from Jesus, and focus on my symptoms and like Google my symptoms and really try to get to like what's going on with me. And while I don't think it's all necessarily bad, I wasn't keeping my eyes focused on Jesus. This is hard to talk about because it's like I don't have the answers. I like having a somewhat answer or thinking I have the answer. I know anxiety looks totally different to everybody, and that's why it gets scary, because I've talked to a few other friends and theirs looks nothing like mine, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? It's not about what's wrong with me, it's how can God use me. So that's what I choose to focus on. That's all I got.